Don't throw away your old drill bits just yet. I started drilling, but instead of biting into the metal, the bit kept sliding sideways and leaving scratches everywhere. Most people would call it worn out and throw it away immediately. But today, I'm going to restore this drill bit using nothing more than a simple PVC pipe. If this works, you may never look at an old drill bit the same way again. Let's find out. The first thing I need is a short piece of 3/4-inch PVC pipe. This doesn't have to be new. Even a leftover section from another project will work just fine. Before cutting it, here's a simple trick that helps make a perfectly straight guideline. Wrap a sheet of paper tightly around the pipe until both edges meet evenly. Because the paper stays square to the pipe, the edge becomes an accurate cutting guide all the way around. Mark along that edge with a marker, then grab a handsaw and cut off a section about 4 inches long. Now this round piece needs to become completely flat. At first that sounds impossible. After all, a pipe is designed to stay round. But with one simple step, we'll completely change its shape, and that's where this project starts getting interesting. First, make one straight cut lengthwise from end to end so the pipe can open up in the next step. Before I heat this PVC, I put on heat-resistant gloves because the plastic gets hotter than it looks. I keep the heat gun moving slowly across the whole piece, not just one spot. That matters because uneven heat can bubble the plastic or make one side twist. As the PVC softens, I gently open the cut with my fingers, then lay it flat on the bench. Now press it down with a board and hold steady pressure. When it cools, that round pipe becomes a flat sheet we can shape into the guide. Now comes the part that makes this PVC piece useful. Up to now, we only changed the pipe into a flat sheet. The next step creates the angle that will guide the drill bit later. I place a ruler across the plastic each and mark a center line from one end to the other. This line divides the sheet into 2 equal halves and keeps the bend straight. If this line runs crooked, the guide will hold the drill bit crooked too. Next, I heat only the marked line. I move the heat gun slowly back and forth so that one strip softens while the rest of the plastic stays firm. That gives me one clean bend instead of a warped piece. As soon as the PVC becomes flexible, I place it on a wooden block and press one side down with another block until it forms a 90-degree corner. Then I hold it still while it cools. If you release it too early, the angle can open back up. This corner is the secret of the whole jig. It will not sharpen the bit by itself, but it will control the angle when the cutting edge touches the wheel. Now I slide a utility knife into the inside corner and let both sides sit flush against the plastic. That gives me a simple reference angle without guessing. I trace along the knife cut away the marked section and smooth the cut edge with sandpaper. To check the shape, I place a hex bolt into the corner. It fits tightly with almost no gap. That tells me this guide can hold a steady angle from the first sharpening pass to the last. Now the purpose of that PVC piece finally becomes clear. It isn't just a piece of plastic anymore. It's a sharpening guide designed to keep the drill bit at the same angle every time it touches the wheel. That's the part most people struggle to do by hand. I install a cutting wheel on the angle grinder, then place the guide beside the wheel and mark the mounting holes. After drilling the holes, I bolt the guide firmly to the grinder so nothing can shift while I'm sharpening. Even a small amount of movement can change the cutting angle and give uneven results. Before turning the grinder on, I check one more thing. The 90-degree corner should sit extremely close to the wheel, but it must never touch it. That tiny clearance gives the wheel enough room to spin freely while still supporting the drill bit. If the guide rubs the wheel, stop and adjust it before continuing. Never force the grinder to run against the plastic. Once everything is aligned, I spin the wheel by hand to confirm it clears the guide through a full rotation. Now it is time to see if all that setup pays off. I clamp the drill securely in the bench vise so both hands can control the bit. Then I spray a little WD-40 into a cup and dip the tip before sharpening. This helps reduce friction and keeps the cutting edge cooler. With the grinder running, I slide the drill bit into the 90-degree corner until both sides touch the guide. The corner holds the angle so my hands do not have to guess. I let the cutting edge lightly touch the wheel, pull it back, rotate the bit slightly counterclockwise and repeat. Short passes work better than heavy pressure. They remove metal, slowly reduce heat, and help both cutting edges stay even. After one side looks clean, I rotate the bit 180 degrees and repeat the same motion on the second edge. Now the rounded tip has two fresh cutting edges again. Before drilling, I check the point with two bolts placed side by side. The tip drops into the center with no daylight on either side. That tells me both cutting edges now match. Now, let's go back to the same piece of steel where this bit slipped and scratched at the start. I place the tip on the mark, hold the drill straight, and start with light pressure. This time it doesn't skate across the surface. It bites, immediately pulls itself into the steel and throws out clean metal shavings. That's the proof. A drill bit most people would throw away is cutting again because one small PVC guide controlled the angle. If you found this useful, subscribe to Dan Fix, and tell me what old tool you want to restore next.